Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
Today, very simply, change is difficult, growth is difficult, but both are necessary to become the person you are meant to be.
Absolutely.
We deal with a society as a whole that think that we're one pill away from being in the best shape of our lives, to looking as good as we should look in our lives, and to being the smartest, greatest person on earth. We know it's a joke. We know you have to put in the work. Real work, people.
Not a filter.
Not a filter, not a button, not a swipe left, swipe right.
Not a proper angle.
No, not catch me. Oh, get my leg up, turn my head sideways. Does that get an angle? Yes. No. Get your ass right. Get your ass in the gym. Get your ass somewhere to handle your business. See a therapist. Do something, but it's gonna be hard for you. It's gonna be difficult. Nothing worth getting is gonna be easy.
Yes.
And we say it all the time. Do better. Be better. But people think, oh, well, what does that really mean? That means look at your goddamn self for who you are right now. Ask yourself, am I happy where I am? It's a simple question. Am I making enough money? Do I feel good? Am I mentally in a space that I'm happy with? And if you say no, now you have to start making a plan.
And all those things without really lying to yourself, right? Because like living paycheck to paycheck or living a rat race, that's not making enough money. And so if you say to yourself, because you don't feel like putting in the extra work to maybe get a higher certification or making any changes to make more money, then you'll try to convince yourself that you make enough. But really, you're late on your bills type of lifestyle, or as soon as you get your money, it's all depleted. Like, you have to honestly say to yourself, no, I'm not making enough money for my lifestyle, so that then you can assess, what are you trying to afford? And maybe you can either cut out some things that you've been trying to afford so that you can actually afford your lifestyle, so that you actually are making enough money.
Absolutely.
Right? Or you could say, well, how can I now earn more money? Because I'm just not happy and I need more. But you shouldn't lie to yourself. You don't lie to yourself just so that you don't have to change.
People lie to themselves because it's easier.
It's easier so that you can stay right where you're at.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, oh, no, I'm happy in my relationship. So that way I don't have to rattle anybody's feathers. Because if I say, hey, I don't feel good in this space, that means that I make you upset, right? Because now I'm forcing you to talk to me more. You normally too tired to talk anyway, and now I want to talk to you more. It's hard.
Absolutely.
So now I'm going to just pretend. And it's only going to be but for so long. Right? Before that thing that you don't want to work on to change could be your weight.
Yes.
It's only but so long you can pretend that, oh, no, my weight is just fine. I'm super skinny for no reason. It's just fine. You don't think you need to eat more?
Exactly.
Or I'm super big, and that's just, you don't think you need to eat less at some point? It's a health risk.
Yes.
Living on both extremes.
Absolutely.
And I know women on both ends.
And I know men on both ends.
Yeah.
So we both know it. But the thing that amazes me is, like, whenever you talk to someone who wants to lose some weight, and you say, well, why don't you try walking? Those people have all kinds of fucking excuses. You know what? I get home so late, I can't even walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a weird concept. But you don't even have time for yourself to, like, live.
You don't have time for yourself to be better and live healthy.
Yeah.
But you'll fuck around and stop by McDonald's because, it's too late.
Now, you had time for that. Yeah. And then the line wrapped around the building.
And don't Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Oh, Chick-fil-A is wrapped around a couple buildings.
Yeah, but they get you in and out.
That's true.
I don't care how long that line is. Shit, it's sort of like Chipotle. I don't even know how they do this. The line could be to the door at Chipotle. They get you in and out. Wow.
They sure do. And they most certainly do.
Yeah.
But you find time for that.
No, you do.
But
because I'm going to just, I could be walking and
I could be walking, and I could walk around in the mall, and then say, you know what, let me just leave, walk around the mall, and then come back and go and do this. But you don't want to, because again, it's like maybe if I could take a pill or drink a drink and do all that. Maybe when it gets warm, because now we're springtime, you're like, oh, it's spring now. Because 3 months ago, you know what? Whew, it's winter time.
It's too cold out there.
Too cold outside.
I forget we used to go outside in the cold.
Yeah, exactly. All the time. You had to drag us from outside to bring us inside. Now you can't get a motherfucker to even stay out there after 5 o'clock. Oh, it's dark, cold.
Yeah, and you can't go outside when it's dark.
No, fuck that. No. It's dark and cold. So I'm bring my happy ass inside.
Like, what happened? So you can't go for a jog at 6 o'clock anymore? Okay, it's dark and cold.
Can't at all. But now it's springtime, and them same motherfuckers who 3 months ago I got all the time in the world, because spring ain't gonna come till April. It's only like this November. It's April here now, and now your fat ass running around talking about, let me put this coat. Oh goddamn, I gained a little weight. But your shirt has got a bunch of open mouths in it, straight down.
Wow.
Button, open mouth. Button, open mouth. Button,
open.
And then your goofy fat ass talking about, I got to give me a bigger shirt. Now, why don't you go ahead and start walking? Because if you get a bigger shirt, that means there's more room to put in that shirt. And then eventually next year, you'll be saying the same shit. Next year, you're 20, 40, 50, 60, 100 pounds overweight.
And it's not to say be a slave to your size, right? Because you can always buy a proper fitting shirt.
Yes.
But if the idea is to live healthy, and in return you said that you wanted to lose weight in order to, live healthy, you gotta actually do it.
Got to.
And that's just what it boils down to. Even like the very idea of being a man, right? Last time y'all been to the doctors, 10 years ago? And I don't know about you personally. I mean, y'all in general.
But and you know what? You're absolutely correct. As a man, unless our damn fingers fall off or something fall off or something bleeding, we ain't gonna go.
You don't even show up for a general base. I call it a baseline visit. Right?
That's true.
So can we at least get your height and weight? Check your little blood. Make sure, do you still even have blood? Like, are you still there?
That is so
that when
true.
your pinky about to fall off, we can at least call the doctor who can meet us somewhere, who at least saw you. I mean, just once a year?
That's true.
I feel like y'all should do it like how, our OBGYNs want us to do our pap smears, like around our birthdays.
We should.
Once a year?
Yeah, we should. We should. Just at least get something checked out. And now, you look at guys when you get to a certain age, especially if you're African American, you got to get the prostate checked. And they say you should get it at 40.
Right.
Because we get prostate cancer relatively quick and so advanced and so devastating that by the time you find out, it's too late.
Yes.
A lot of men, I don't know about get stuck no finger in my ass.
That's why y'all ain't going. My bad. That's why y'all.
Yeah,
but that's the test, though.
Yeah, that's the test.
Yeah, that's the test. So that's the 40 and after visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now listen. Yeah, all the things that's been stuck inside of us. Y'all gotta take the L. Y'all gotta take the L. Do y'all not know? So first of all, will we showing up every other year now for PAPs? Because they changed it, right? You know how the men get when they start changing policy. No, those every other year now.
Yes,
right?
yes, exactly.
So do you know how do we get what is it? The speculum all up and cranking you over, and it's still the same tool from I don't know what year they invented this little duckbill looking thing.
You would think you would do something a little better than that.
You would think.
After all these years?
Yeah, I mean, nah. So I don't know what y'all got going on in y'all's office when y'all go, but you take one for the team is what I'm saying.
Gary, let me tell you.
Let
me tell y'all some good shit for men. What we really do, you think it's like, oh my God, he gonna go ahead, she gonna stick her whole fist up your rectum. And really it isn't. It really is you kind of lay sideways, they get your nice little prone position, and they just tell you, you're gonna feel something, and they lube up a little finger.
Wow.
And they just go in searching, but they'll tell you like, okay, we're gonna let you know.
They're searching.
Yeah, they go in and they try to feel where your prostate is.
Yeah, to push on it.
Exactly.
Applying pressure on it.
And just kind of say, okay, it's not large, it's not, it's normal.
Oh, okay.
And then they do a test. They do it's called a PSA test, where they just test the number of some sort of level of your blood to see if it's over a certain level. Then that means you're susceptible to prostate cancer. If it's under a certain level, you're good. But those two things they do. When I first had it done, it was like, what the fuck? I felt vulnerable. I needed a dinner, or I needed her to give me some roses or something.
Wow, he wanted a cigarette when they was done.
This from my forehead said, it'd be okay. You know, when you feel a certain way, like, what the fuck? You're like, okay. And then especially when you go around the front and test your little your boys. Okay. And you test them. And that's something, men, check your balls. Because if you don't check your balls, you can end up with testicular cancer. Mm-hmm. And that takes you out early. And strangely enough, they get that early. Testicular cancer, Lance Armstrong, the cyclist, had that.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, that was the cancer he had.
That's the cancer he had, and it's a ball. And they said if you do feel something, get it tested, because if you have any nodules or bumps on your testicles, that you should get it checked, because it may be cancerous. Mm-hmm. So you want to check that. But these are things nobody want to have a conversation about. Yeah. Because again, it's saying that, oh my God, I got to be responsible. I got to make sure I check my health. But what happens is, I got to
show up regularly for myself.
You have to.
That's what it's saying. Yeah.
You have to.
And you make all the reasons not to show up for yourself.
And as men, we fail miserably, but we're the ones that die early. You know, men die earlier than women, because men, for the most part, you know, that hurt a little bit, we all right, but we don't want to deal with doctors. You know, and case history based on African Americans in this country, you have a right to feel like, oh, I can't trust doctors, but we're better now. But we need to get those things checked. So take the time and get these things checked. Get your prostate checked. Get your rectum checked. Get all that shit checked, because that shit can come back and haunt you, or it could kill you. Yeah. And now you leave your wife, your girlfriend, your kids ass out, all because I wish I could take a pill. Can't take a pill.
Because today everybody knows somebody who's died from cancer.
Sure do.
You don't know somebody who died from pandemic.
No.
But you do know people who's died from cancer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it happens every day, all the time. Yeah. So you have to take the time to really look at yourself and do the work necessary to get shit done. I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm a type 2 diabetic and been almost a diabetic for almost 30 years. Was on insulin up until probably the past 6 months. They always say once you're on insulin, you never get off. Okay. And my doctor was like, you know, she said, well, you know, you've been a diabetic. I'm giving you all these pills. And, you know, and she, so many words. She said, well, if we keep going this way, we may have to end up putting a pump in you, an insulin pump. And I'm sitting in there, and I'm saying to myself,
this is back when it was first diagnosed 30 years ago.
No. Oh, no. No.
Current day.
This is recently. Let me tell you, about 18 months ago, I was taking all kinds of medications. I was taking insulin shots for about the past, 4 years? 3-4 years? Taking shots every day because it was out of control. And the doctor told me, she said, at this point, you know, you've done all you can do, and we may be looking at getting you a pump and doing some other things. So in my head, I said, wait a minute. Either I can accept that. It's okay, you know. I can't do no better, so I'm just going to get the pump, and then that's another thing I have to get done. Or I need to make a change. I need to make such a drastic change that I'm going to throw everything. I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm changing. I'm doing a 180. I'm changing everything, how I eat, how I work out, what I do, how mentally, how I deal with things, and let me see what the hell happens. I have nothing to lose. Right now, all I could see was be on an insulin machine, and getting one implanted, and that was going to be my new life. Just walk around with an insulin pump. Right. And I said, fuck this. I went to the gym, and I just started. I said, I'm just going to start walking. When first day I started walking, it was during the pandemic. It was probably 3 years ago. It was like March 2020. And I said, I'm just going to start walking. T, can I tell you, when I started walking, I did a half a mile and was out of fucking breath.
Absolutely.
I was exhausted. Mm-hmm. I was out of fucking breath. I literally got off that thing, went to the bathroom, and tears just going in my eyes. I said, how the fuck did I allow myself to get to this point? Mm-hmm. But then you start thinking life was important. Oh, I got to work. I got to work about the family. I got to do all this. But
all the excuses.
All the excuses, but not doing this and not changing how I eat, how I drink things, and everything.
Not taking the best care of yourself.
The best care of myself. And I went home, I sat there and I said, this is going to be a journey. This is going to be a long, hard journey. But I also knew if I didn't do it, I knew where I was going to be.
Because the other journey you were about to walk down was also going to be long and hard also.
Absolutely.
So it wasn't like, you was opting one, hard for one that was easy.
No.
They're both going to be hard journeys either way you slice the pie.
Absolutely. And then I went to my eye doctor and I told her what's going on. She said, you need to do everything you need to do to get yourself straight, because diabetes is going to start affecting your sight. My eyes is my moneymaker. I can't fuck with my eyes. That's how I get paid. That's how I do what I do. So I said, okay, I really got to get into this. I don't care how the image of I can only do a half a mile and I'm breathing hard and I feel like some shit. That's nothing. I could be still breathing hard, not being able to see, and walking around with a goddamn insulin pump. Very
Absolutely,
easily.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck that. So I changed everything. I cut out different proteins, cut out sweets, cut out drinking sodas, cut out all that shit. And then I went from a 12. And if you guys know what an A1C of 12 is, you know that shit is bad. And for people who don't know, what it should be is between 5 and 6%, not 12. 12 is way up there. I went from that to probably, I want to say about 6 months ago, down to 6, and lost about 85, 90 pounds, roughly. Doing 6 miles to warm up. Just to warm up before I start lifting weights and pounding weights and constantly do it for an hour and a half in the gym. 5 days a week.
Yep.
Was it hard? Fucking right, it was hard. Is it hard walking by things you used to love to eat and now you say I can't eat no more? Because is that cheesecake worth your sight? Is them ribs worth your sight? Or your toes?
That's right.
Or your kidneys? Or your heart? So you start saying, you put in perspective, food ain't shit. Food's supposed to be a medicine. Food shouldn't be something that's killing me.
Food's supposed to nourish the body.
Exactly, not kill the body.
That's right.
And by doing it, it put my head in a totally different space, saying, if I really want things, I can do it. In fact, my doctor was like, I've never seen this happen. She said, I've been doing diabetics forever. I've never seen a diabetic. By the way, I'm off of insulin.
Congrats.
Thank you. After years of being on insulin, and a lot of people say, your pancreas just shut down because you have the insulin coming in, it stops producing, so you'll be on it forever. I got off of it. She's like, I stood in her office and we looked at each other. She said, I had to look at your test twice. She's like, how the hell did this dude go from a 12 down to a 6 in 18 months? How did you do it? I said, when you told me I had to get it done, I had to pull that difference. I always say I'm different. I had to pull that. Here's the reason why I'm different. I'm going to do this shit and not complain about it. Just quietly do what I need to do. That told me anyone can do what they want to do if you put your mind to it and understand it's not a quick process. It's not a pill. It's not a drink. It's not a shot. It's you have to put in the work in order to be the best you can be.
Yeah, it's a journey, and the journey itself is the part that you enjoy.
Absolutely.
When you're young and they tell you that, you're like, I know I ain't trying to hear this. I'm just trying to get to exactly where I need to be at, and I just want to be arrived, right? But it's great that you're not on insulin anymore. But what about the time that you spent, hammering those weights in the gym? Like that was those were the great small wins in there, right? Those were the defeats, and the wins only feel great if you felt that defeat once or twice before.
Yes, exactly. Because at that point, you're like, I can do it.
Yeah.
Because you went from I can't do anything to I can do it.
Yeah, you went from all the way down there to like, oh man, Is that a self elevation? Yes,
Self.
I've arrived. It's something that
Girl.
no one else will take from you because
No.
no one else gave it to you.
No, that's what and that's what I try to tell people is like, understand the greatest success is overcoming your own fear and overcoming you.
Yep.
Overcoming your thought of saying, you can't do it.
You holding yourself back.
You're holding yourself back. Boy, you've been this way for 30 years. Ain't no way in hell that, because I had the little man that said it, you're a fool. There's no way in hell you're going to get off this shit. Because first of all, no diabetic gets off this shit.
Well, if you don't do anything different than what you had been doing, then you're not going to.
What did you just said? You have to do something different
Yes.
in order to accomplish what you need to accomplish. You can't keep doing the same stupid shit. As people say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yep.
It doesn't happen.
It
that way.
doesn't make sense. It's not a plausible thing. Like, I'm going to keep eating the same foods in the same quantity at the same hour throughout the day, and I want to look different, or I want it to make me feel different. Because food also makes us feel a certain type of way.
Absolutely. And sometimes people use food to make them feel better, i.e., if somebody's in a bad relationship,
Yeah,
that
I want some
becomes
ice cream. I'm just saying, if
Yeah,
somebody
that's
hurts
true.
my feelings and I'm sitting at home and let's just have some ice cream. It makes you feel good.
I think the thing that you guys are both saying, which is really important, is finding a positive way of finding joy.
Italian ice sees that.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, like, okay, cool. You want ice cream, but like, actually, no cap though. Like, even if you want ice cream, getting an Italian ice would still be a better option.
And not as much. Right?
Exactly.
Because sometimes you kind of like, okay, it's only half the container left. You know, I'm going to just take the half of the container. For, you know, you don't
Yep.
think I'm going to just eat some of it. But
Exactly.
somehow all of the, I didn't even mean to do that. Yeah, because you took too much from the beginning, so you set yourself up for failure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so making proper choices up front.
And that goes with everything. We're using food and diabetes and all that stuff, but that goes with just general health.
Yeah.
Just general how mentally. If somehow you know you're in a miserable ass relationship, know you're miserable. Like if you give it like, fuck, I'm still with this motherfucker. I don't know what to do to get out of this situation. You do, but you don't want to do the work it takes to get out of it.
Yeah, or you keep saying, I'm just not happy.
Or you don't want the insecurity that comes with the decision to make that. So to make that decision rather. So if you're in a shitty relationship and you don't want to be a part of it anymore, what you fail to realize is that that also comes with upending your life, because you could be in the same household with the person you can't stand. You could be sharing bills with the person you can't stand. Y'all could have debt together.
Yep.
There's so many things that come along with that idea, and people get afraid because the instability that comes with it. Failing to realize that instability is temporary. It doesn't have to be permanent. You can be unstable and then get back to where you want to go.
But also, sometimes when you sign up to situations like that, you've overextended something. You're like, you got to do the work, pay attention. Oh, I'm trying to get away from this guy. I don't want to be here anymore. What? Let me start paying off these credit cards, because you know that's a bill for you, your credit card bill. So you need to bring that back down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to position yourself in a way to where you're winning.
But people put themselves in a situation where, and I call playhouse, where you get into a relationship and then all of a sudden you want to do everything but to make it official. You want to get a house in their name or get an apartment in their name. Then you want to get furniture. You want to get all these things because you're playing the
And
role.
then you get a baby.
And then you get a baby.
Okay.
And now all of a sudden,
No,
you're like,
we ain't playing no more. Hold on. No, we done made this whole house.
well, see?
Nah.
But see?
Hold on, I'm waiting for you to propose to me. It should be coming right now.
But T,
Nah.
you're
don't
the one
you
that
tee
allowed
me.
it to happen, though.
Nah, damn that. You better get up
y'all-
on that knee,
listen,
baby. You
y'all-
better get
listen.
down on that.
But
You
why
better
would
get
it?
down
But-
on that. Because what you talking about?
Why would you?
I done
Why
had
would I
this,
have
baby.
to?
I done
Listen,
washed
nobody
these
told you
dishes,
you had these damn babies.
made your lunch.
Hey, you didn't ask me nothing.
No.
Listen.
It's
When we got
time.
hooked up together, you didn't
It's
say nothing about I
time.
had to make you, make you an honest woman.
Wow. No, I did.
I ain't here.
Nah,
I ain't here. I just heard you gonna take care of me, and
but
we're
I
good to
would
go.
have never let it go this far. Wow, y'all already got me messed up. Y'all already
See?
got me mad. I'd have been online. Nah, I'd have sent that.
I'm gonna be rude and say some real disrespectful shit.
Come on,
And
he
I'm
always
sorry.
doing. Hey, I just want to let y'all know that's the producer.
You know, the producer come with some shit. Come on, producer. He gonna come with that shit from afar.
I didn't say anything disrespectful yet. I haven't said anything wrong yet. Y'all heard what I said. All I said is I might say something that might be a little disrespectful.
With a mic.
It might be. I don't know.
Okay.
My opinion is you get what you ask for. What I mean by that, you want to be married, you want to have a nice house with this man, but you have never set any boundaries or any levels of expectation, and then you get hoed, that's your fault. You cannot go to a house with a guy. Nah, we're gonna talk some shit. We're gonna talk some shit today. I'm sorry, y'all. We're shooting live rounds today.
Oh yes, the
y'all can't
face.
see it,
You
but
can't see the
we shooting live rounds
face
today. We
is
shooting
worth
live
a
rounds
million of dollars. That face
We're
is
shooting
priceless.
live rounds today. I know a friend of mine who moved to another state with a girl he had no intentions of getting married to.
So why he do that?
Left a great paying job to do so. To make exactly, I don't know, 1/4 of what he used to make.
Itch, y'all. I got I'm sorry. It genuinely made my head
It makes your head hurt, don't it?
I mean, just itch.
Moved to a whole nother state.
Yes.
Didn't want to get married. Was confronted by said girl while they were in new state, saying, "Hey, we're in this new state. I know your infrastructure shot to shit, but I'm trying to get married." Well, y'all moved, so the infrastructure you had when you got together no longer exists. So now you two are no longer together. She's back home with her parents, and you're stuck in another state. My G, I love you. And I know you'll probably hear this one day. And if you do, we can talk about it if you feel some type of way. But you made a bad call. You made a bad decision.
I don't understand the decision.
There wasn't because you didn't think it through.
Oh, okay.
You didn't think it through. The problem
Neither
was
one of them did.
Nobody did.
No.
No one. Nobody. No. That's the problem. Nobody thought.
Nobody.
Nobody was thinking.
No.
But that's the problem. Is that a lot of people nowadays move without thinking. You just do
both
it feels
teams.
good.
That's the
It feels
perfect
good.
analogy when both teams are losing.
Yes.
Both teams are
Wow.
bad. Like
Yes.
that's a team. Y'all team worked. You both found a way to work together to fuck each other up. I'm fighting that.
That's true. That's
You
the
work
fucking truth.
together to ruin your futures.
Absolutely.
As a
That's what they
collective.
say. Be careful who you choose as your mate. It will make or break your life.
And you know the other
For
goddamn
him,
thing.
I don't know what happened with him.
That-
Oh boy.
it's crazy because that goes back to lack of communication. That goes back to real communication,
no.
not that fluff shit. Like,
No,
well,
because
you know
even
what,
if
we
he
can
would have
do this.
communicated that to me, she would have still dragged his ass down there with the quarter amount of the
Allowed
job.
yourself to
Yeah.
be dragged down.
So, but the problem to me is a man can't communicate him stepping down from, his throne in order to follow me and my shenanigans. Like, that's not an alpha move.
No.
And if I'm just like, okay with that, that means I'm looking for a beta man that I can probably control, because there's probably some sense of insecurity or doubt going on in my world to where I'm like, okay, I'm going to be okay with taking, unless you young and dumb, and you don't quite understand what's going on. But by the time we talking about you make X amount and then we quartered that out, you're not that young anymore. Right?
No.
Because you're not making minimum wage and then saying you moved out into another state and you making 1/4 of the. No, you was making enough money to where you was old enough to know a little bit something
Yes.
better than what we doing.
Yes.
So even if we communicating about, even if it's bullshit, communicating about bullshit, it still comes out to be bullshit.
That is true. And the other thing is this. People have a tendency to think they know every fucking thing. They have to think,
Yeah.
you know what? Yes, such and such done that, but I'm smarter than that. Do you know how many motherfucking graves are full of people who are smarter than somebody, but obviously that's why they're in the grave because they're not as smart as they thought they were?
Yeah.
when you get to a point where something sounds crazy to you, you just sit back. You say, whoa, let me step back. Why am I doing? How's it going to benefit me? In fact, how's it going to benefit us if I do
And
this?
trust yourself. Like, there's no way on God's green earth, if I took anybody who's listening to this podcast right now, even y'all or myself, anybody, if I tell you, look at your bank account, cut that shit into a fourth, you're going to go to a whole nother state on top of that. Nobody, and I mean nobody would say yes to that.
No. Nobody will say no to that.
Nobody would say yes. I don't even need to give you any more background.
Yeah.
I don't have to say like, oh, well, you know, your mom. Like, it could be good things, bad things. No one's gonna say
Because the cost of living in no state got cut by a quarter.
No state got cut by a quarter.
No state got cut by that amount.
No.
And then for the, I'm gonna just say it, for it to be the man's income to have been gotten cut. Like, it's. I don't want to say it's okay for the woman's income to have gotten cut, but we all know that it is.
I mean, but that's.
We all know that it is. Like,
That's usually the way to happen.
Yeah.
let's just be honest here.
Yeah.
You know, if it was like, babe, you know, I got this great job where my income is, you know, totally inflated, and perhaps your income deflate, like, you know, we ain't even gonna work no more. Let's just keep it real. We just
exactly.
a quarter. No, I'm gonna just quit and just
There you
know, they take care of the house. I don't know.
Yes.
At this rate, you could probably pay somebody to do that too. But whatever, a quarter.
Yes.
No, ain't no state that cheap to live in to where you can quarter your income and be okay.
Hope I can wing it.
Yeah,
You can't wing it
no.
at that point.
And don't wing it at certain ages.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
There's a cutoff point for winging it.
Yeah, it's called 20 and under.
Yes, because
Yeah.
because at that point you can come home. You're always home. You're like, oh, I can work this job. I get an extra few cents at this job.
Yeah,
You can do that.
and people have pity on you.
Yes,
because
they will.
because you can't buy alcohol technically, so you still silly and dumb.
Absolutely.
Right? But by the time you can legally buy alcohol, oh no, you had too much training at this. I don't know if I remember telling you about the one kid who showed up to the shop, and he was 21. You know, I had to ask him his age, and he was basically like he needed somebody to like cash app him money because he needed virtual dollars at this point, and he only had cash money on him. I was like, what? He said, I'm trying to get back home. I'm not from out here. I'm from Glen Burnie. He said, yeah, I'm just trying to get somebody $7, see if they can cash app it to me so I can catch me an Uber. I said, what is happening?
What the hell?
Well, long story short, he done stumbled across because he must have been engaged in relations with the young lady who came and picked him up.
Oh, she can't pick him up.
She came and picked him up. He must not have did it right. So now he got to find his own ride home.
God damn. He got kicked out the car?
I'm out the house probably. Or the hotel, you know, I don't know. He was close to the hotel too, but yeah, no, he didn't know what he was doing. So but what I'm saying is he was ill prepared for life. Yeah, that was.
God damn. If your game was that weak, you should have been prepared, player. You should have bought $100 with you if you weren't.
But he was 21, and so for that reason, I was like, you gotta go out and figure out your way. But if you was under 21, we might have gave some pity, give me the $7, and you know, pray it's not a scam type of thing. But because you owe it, you should know better by now.
Yes.
$7.
But you know what's also a shame though?
That's
If I
true.
sat here and said that same story to you, flip that guy for a girl, you would have helped her.
Yeah, she could have been 42.
You would have
You want a man to lead, then you make him lead. I don't know what y'all want me to say. I've been said we're not equal. We not doing the same stuff. I'll be the first one. I ain't no feminist kick. No.
Oh, but you know
Lady
what?
could have been walking down the side of the sidewalk. Can you buy me a cup of coffee? Sure. She don't even need to look homeless.
And you know what's so funny? We're laughing, but that's a fucking true statement. If
It
a 21-year-old
is.
girl say, I can't get home, I need some money, I say, all right, I'll send her some money. But if a motherfucking dude came to me and said,
And he
you
had
better
the
figure that
money.
shit
He
out.
had the money in his pocket. That was real bad.
Oh.
Because the weird part to me is what lessons you done missed, bro. You don't know where you can add the cash app to your card. You didn't want to do that before. I mean, you talking about you came out to get some tail.
Oh, you gotta be prepared, my man.
Yeah. Then that was my. See, you didn't come out to like do a job or a gig and something messed you up. You came out to have a good time, and when you want to have a good time, you got to be prepared.
Yes.
As a young lady, like, you got to be prepared too. But we're going to have so much more pity on you because I'm sorry, y'all ain't nobody trying to take y'all like they trying to take. Come on, man. Y'all, come on, y'all. Y'all know it's not the same out here. The girls just can't be out here with the short skirts, passed out on the sidewalks because they didn't have too much to drink. Come on, y'all's vultures out here.
Yeah, we heard it. Producer, we heard them stupid ass stories where chick passed out by the trash can. Dude runs by like Ezel and said, "She drunk? She passed out? Oh well, let me partake of her." And then she's like, "What the hell happened? Oh, you asleep. Oh, you passed out. So I just thought I just stop by and take a little something from you and then keep on moving."
Wow, that was like a sketch.
Yeah, that was Brock Turner.
Yeah, motherfucker went to jail. Went to jail and saying, "Well, she was drunk. She was by. What am I to do? She laid there drunk, ass up. I'm a little horny. She passed out. Anybody gonna know? Raped her. And that motherfucker got months in jail, didn't he? Months. Because the judge said, well, she should have been out there laid out there like that anyway. So she kind of bought on herself.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's the rationale.
Mm-hmm. She bought on herself because she was passed out. This is the reason why I can't see women in that situation. And I can't understand why women even put themselves in that situation. You're so fucked up that you just pass out somewhere.
Well, it's not to me that's so fucked up that you passed out somewhere. It's that you decided to, first of all, test, because I'm assuming you don't know your limit. These are young girls. But you decided to test your limits like by yourself. Or you showed up with a group of girls who you didn't leave the party with. And somehow you ended up laid out on a bush, in a tree, in a corner. What? In a lawn? No,
because you have no self-preservation.
No, because your mother didn't teach you probably.
No,
because she decided to show
there's
to you.
natural human self-preservation.
No, I've seen girls who will walk away from the group.
Because y'all don't have self-preservation. That's what I'm saying.
No, her mother
Women go out
didn't
here and
teach
do
her
stupid
proper.
shit all the time because they have zero self-preservation.
But did your mother teach you self-preservation?
You don't even get taught self-preservation. It's called self-preservation. Preserve your fucking self. Why do you even get taught how to protect yourself?
As a woman, you do get taught how to protect yourself.
That's just common sense.
Yes, you do get taught how to protect yourself. But yes,
when I go outside, I'm not going to go see 4 people standing on the block and think, let me go see what these fine gentlemen are talking about. No, I'm going to get in my fucking car and go home. If I'm drunk, I'm not going to sit here and say, let me go wander into the fucking night just because it feels good, because the air feels great.
But it didn't look like the night. Duh. It was a big star she was trying to get to.
Okay, so she drunk. Go to God then. And whatever happens, happens.
And when she fell, she thought it was the bed.
Okay, so she fell hit the concrete, and then her life that was just it. Then I shouldn't feel sympathy for you because for some reason you can't figure out how to protect yourself.
That's bad.
I'm telling you that we have classes for that. Yeah.
It's called common sense.
But it's not that.
But you know what?
He said it's your fault.
That's your fault then.
Producer, when you were going to college, how many women end up in certain parties and you had to actually walk them?
One day.
That's what I'm saying.
And
You
that's
weren't
college.
taught much.
And it's
not even being taught. That's just called common sense.
You're a woman.
Protect yourself.
That's
Protect yourself from the unknown. Okay.
It's basic shit. It's basic shit.
Could you imagine if a young lady of today's life, imagine if she went to college and never been exposed to social media? What type of situation has her parents put her into?
In terms of her going to school.
Yeah, in terms of her being on a college campus and the first time she's using social media is now.
If she somehow makes it to college without using social media, then she is Bambi out in the wild.
Yes, she damn sure
and
is.
what I'm saying to you is that it be some Bambis out there.
And that's cool.
And how she gonna protect herself?
But y'all get caught
here.
on silly shit. It's not Bambi who got caught in the trap. Bambi tripped on a twig on the ground and passed the fuck out. Like, no, man. Like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah,
Bambi mother should have taught her about the twigs and the road. That's all I'm saying.
and
Is
there could be twigs on the road,
they're
there
not
could be twigs in
pouring
the
proper
woods.
things into the children.
It could be twigs
to
at
properly
height.
protect yourself. And you have to learn from your mistakes. Like, bitch, if you drank too much last time and you passed out and you don't remember what happened after that, you maybe shouldn't do it again this weekend.
Do
I'm
you
just saying.
know how many people, when I was going to college, these girls going in, they drinking in parties and they're sipping and sipping. We know, especially any guy knows, you keep an eye. Now, if you like a back of a shoe, there ain't nobody gonna mess with you. Because you like a back of a shoe, gonna let you pass out in the front, maybe kick you in the corner and throw a blanket over you. Somebody's trip over you and keep you moving. But if you're fine and you start walking around sipping and sipping and sipping, and also you get all giggly, everybody antennas up. Everybody watching you. Why? Because we're going to catch you. You slipping. Because first,
ain't nobody taught her that she was the cream of the
No!
crop. And so she's moving in a room thinking that she's regular. And she's not. Nobody
But it
taught her
doesn't even matter
different.
if you're
It
not
does.
regular.
Yeah, it does. Because like he said, if a girl walk inside the room and she looking like a silverback, she can move different than a dime piece walking in the fucking room. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Like, keep it real.
Here's what I'm saying.
Keep it
You should
real.
never, you should
You
never
gotta-
get so drunk that you don't know where you are.
No, you shouldn't.
Especially if you are a woman. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
True that.
Period. Now, what other people do to you, as you said, is dependent on what you look like. If you look like a silverback, no one's probably gonna touch you. No.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that she's not touchable. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that somebody wants her. I'm just saying that it takes more liquor for her. She can fight off men more because she has more weight to her. And technically she's not desired to as many people. And so you're not having to fight off that many guys. Like, let's just keep it real. We can't all move in the room the same way.
No.
You just can't.
No, because like if you make money, like let's say you're a millionaire, you can't go out to Walmart and just be chilling. Like if you have if like LeBron James goes out to anywhere, period, anywhere, he's gonna be harassed left, right, and center.
So we already know it's you.
It's different. You're right. It's a difference between money, difference between looks.
Because it's not just the looks. It's everything. There's always something that defines us and creates and maintains that thing that we call its levels to this thing, right?
Yep.
And we all have to be mindful where are we sitting at of the world of academia.
Yes.
When you walk inside the room, if you're the professor or the student, it's levels to this.
We know in school, that's very true. Because you know in school, you as a professor, and some professors are younger than, than probably roughly around the same age within a 10-year difference of the kids that they're teaching.
Okay.
So if you're a teacher and you see a fine student, you probably say, you know what, she's off limits. But as we know, there's a lot of them don't give a shit. They're like, you know what, I'm gonna mess with her. You as a young lady should understand the game. Or somebody should have told you there's a possibility that the game could go sideways.
No, I'm saying some of these girls have not been taught. You're not been taught. You're not been groomed. Somebody say it to you once, and you might have seen it or heard it in the song, but you don't quite understand what it means when a guy who's 24 and every time he see you, he trying to talk to you, the 16-year-old, you think it's cute, but you don't have a clue why a guy who's 24 got his own car. You know what I'm saying? He's the man. Why he on your line?
Exactly.
So now you go to college and you think you the hot shit because you done pulled the 24-year-old, back 2 years ago and was all up in his
Until you realize that was fucking weird when you got to college.
Oh, no. You still ain't realized it because now you okay with playing with the professor.
Oh, now you about to
where you
enter
was
that
about to
world.
go with
Yep.
it, right?
Yeah, because they have no
Because
problem.
you have not figured out the boundaries and you also have not understood how you're being used and manipulated in any of these situations.
Exactly.
You think you out here on the come up. Professor don't give a shit about no, ain't no come up here.
None.
It's just a good time.
And you're going to find it out the hard way.
The hard way, because nobody told you. Nobody taught you your self-worth. Nobody told you what level you should be on. Nobody taught you how to move.
And then you're going to have,
to preserve yourself. They don't know. They
You
don't
are
know.
a sheep among wolves. And you're sitting there thinking, oh, he's not really a wolf.
No,
he's
they
a
are.
sheep.
They're really thinking that. Like, he can't possibly be a wolf. Look at him. He's so cute. Look at his little baby ears on the back. They all curly. Oh, my goodness. He called me last night. Bitch, did you know he said good morning?
Mm-hmm.
He was all, good morning. I was like, what? He can't possibly be a wolf.
And then you'll find out. There's a lot of women, as we talk today, a lot of young women who are currently in college or going to be going to college, who may listen to this and say, oh, that can't be me.
Yeah, no, for real, because attention, and you don't even realize the lack thereof, or the lack of the need, until you get it, and it's not there anymore, and then it comes back around, and now you like a fiend.
Oh.
What they say, love is like a drug.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you start playing with that thing called attention for a girl for the first time who's not been interacting with guys, who's not been allowed to have a cell phone, who's perhaps has a cell phone that's been monitored or has been forced to, stay away from guys on certain levels, right? Whereas the rest of the world, 90% of your peers are commingling, making up, breaking up. They got that little bit of resistance, right? They understand that game. And then you jumping in and you super green.
Oh. And you know what happens, Steve, with that? What's that walk called, producer? When you wake up in the morning, you look out the window, and you see him walk across the campus.
Amber Rose would call it something different, but we like to call it the walk of shame. It's the beautiful first thing. It's about 6:45 a.m. I get a chance to wake up and look over the quad and see girls traversing to their bedrooms because they were not where they were not at home. But it's I hear you. I hear everything in what you're saying. I truly do. Ladies, I understand this hard. I hear for y'all. Please don't understand my hostility for not understanding that women have to move differently. But it's because I understand women have to move differently, I get so frustrated.
I think it's
because there's too many women who move like bobbleheads, like you mentioned. And that's the problem to me, because in this day and age, with all the technology that we have, with all the ways we can learn about how people move, the fact that it is not 1964, not 1984, it's 2023. Y'all still moving like y'all bobbleheads? Like, it's improbable to me.
I think you're referencing the accountability of today's woman and how she moves. And that perhaps you moving with so much ignorance in the way that you're moving. It's like you're not holding yourself accountable.
And you're not growing from it.
Yeah, straight up.
You're not growing.
I think that's fair to say. I think it's more than just the woman and how she moves. There's so many things that today everybody's dumbed down on that we just like, oh, I don't know. Where's a whole smartphone in your hand? And you don't have no intentions on looking up and seeking out any information for yourself.
You don't, just the simple thing of you're 16, 17. Because I went to school with a girl who was 16, dating a guy who was 24. And I was like, you don't see, this was when I was 16.
Yeah.
I'm 28 now, so that's 12 years ago. 12 years ago, I was like, you don't see how this is weird? She was like, no, like, he likes me, whatever. When I saw her, we were 19. So it had to been, 2 years deep in her college. I saw her again during the summer. I said, oh, you still with such and such? Nah, we broke up because, like, I realized that, like, I've been with him for a long time, and I need to grow, so I was like, we need to break up. But then I started thinking, like, the age gap was kind of weird. I was like, huh. I said, I guess now you understand why I said 3 years ago, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like 24? Like, think about how old 24 is.
It's like, is he an underachiever?
Underachiever.
Like,
he got deep damn near slow. At that point, at 24, dating a 16-year-old.
What is a 16? Like, I can't even, I know 16-year-old people. I know 16-year-old people. I game with them all the time. And every time they open their mouth, I think, God, y'all niggas is dumb. Yes, that's what I think. And guys and girls, I game with both. And I'm like, gaming versus hanging out on a regular, everyday basis, two different things. I understand that. But if I game with you and think, like, you make bad decisions right now, and we're doing something that's inconsequential. I can't imagine being 24 thinking, man, this 16-year-old, she's got to be my girl. No.
Yeah.
No.
You're not really making her your girl. Y'all just having a good time. If she thinks that
They were together for 3 years. That's your girl.
hold on.
You got 3 years. That's your girl.
God
Y'all
damn.
together 3 years.
I thought
She
it
met her
was-
when she was 15.
I thought it was one of those situations where
No. I'm just saying, you say
I'm
your
just
words.
keeping
You say
it
your
real.
words.
No.
No. So
And-
that's why I'm like, there's no instance. When I was 21 and there was a guy at my party who was 27.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to a girl who was 17. I was like, bro, you understand she's 17.
he was 27.
Didn't realize she was 17.
Yeah.
Because I knew her, he didn't.
Right.
I knew them both. I was like, bro, you don't want to talk to her. Like, oh, she seems really interesting. She has a really good idea. She's 17.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm telling you she's 17. What you do with that information is on you. I'm telling you she's 17. Never talked to her again. Walked up out her face mid-sentence and just kept it pushing. I'm like, thank you. Because you're 10 years older than her.
That's bad.
So then that leads you to believe that if you're entertaining this age bracket, they've weeded you out in your age bracket. They
Yes.
said, no, we don't want this one. This one's no good.
Think about that.
Yeah. This
That's bad.
one's got to be no good. He's got to go down.
But you
He's
know
got
what?
to go
Here's
down.
the only other critique I will say, though. 27, right? I'm 28. So at 28, I'm not even thinking about children, right? Whereas a lot of
Having
women
children.
having children, yes,
Okay.
not even considering it.
It's weird.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
would be, you would consider that weird at 30, 38 because when you were
Yeah.
28, you're like, no, like, what?
Yeah.
When you were 28, you already had me, or were about to have me.
Yeah, you about to be here.
Right. So that's a weird concept, y'all. But I'm looking at it as like, divorce rates 50%. I'm looking at like, okay, well, if I'm gonna raise my kid, I'm looking at how money moves nowadays compared to where it used to move. Like, financially, logistically, it makes no sense. So no, I'm not even considering having children. But every girl who will be my age are like, hey, I'm almost 30, I'm not pregnant. We talking.
Ain't nobody trying to
You're
be
not trying-
pregnant or like older.
Exactly.
Like, what?
So-
She trying to
So
get her
if
groove
I'm
back.
sitting here,
She ain't even lost it yet.
I'm sitting here thinking like, no, like the fuck, like no, like I'm trying to have
I'm
kids
acting
by
like
now.
it's affecting me. I'm all offended
You know what I'm
personally.
saying?
I tell you.
But that's what, so then here's the question. As somebody who's my age, I have to think. If I'm gonna date, I can't date somebody my age. If my thinking is I don't want children. Unless I find a girl who also doesn't want to have kids.
Okay.
Right?
What
That's
is
the only
that?
option.
What are y'all talking about? No kids?
Yeah, because it's different.
Kids are expensive.
Yep, it's a different vibe now.
Financially, children.
They ain't
really?
cost me that much. They cost my mother a lot of money, damn.
Okay. All right. I was like, really?
Great.
The woman with 3 children. Really? 3 wonderful children.
Yes. Yes.
Kids. They're not.
Ain't that but a
Please.
blessing.
Please.
Yes. Yes.
So, if you think about like, oh, what kind of lifestyle do I want to give my child? Even if you're like, I want to give my kid the bare minimum, let me go to public school, I ain't doing no extracurricular, nothing. That shit's still expensive. Because you still got clothes, you still got Pampers, things are, the prices are going up and jobs are not going up in terms of what we making.
I mean, if you're worrying about diapers and baby stuff, I mean, it's free booby milk and a little. I was gonna call it a plastic diaper. I was trying to make a little cloth diapers all day. I mean, wow. Is this how all y'all feel about children nowadays?
I don't know. I can't speak on anybody else. I know friends who are like
See.
dying to have kids.
Damn,
I know
okay.
friends who are like, I can't
Y'all
wait
trying to
find
take
me
the population
lady.
out.
They're like, I'm trying to find myself the right girl so we can have our kids, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, y'all niggas are insane. Y'all niggas are trash. Y'all not even gonna be good parents. Point blank period. You're not gonna be good parents. You're gonna be terrible parents. They can't take care of themselves. Why don't they take care of a kid?
God damn.
It's just being honest.
Sometimes
It's
the
just
kids
being
help
honest.
you get yourself together, and
And these niggas,
sometimes
they will not work.
no.
They know it. I've said that
Listen,
it's not gonna work.
the kids do not help you get a job. Okay,
The kids don't have to get a job.
and they do
Kids
not
don't
help
have
with
to
your
grow
work
backbone.
ethic.
You
They don't
can't
help
stand
you
up to
with
your
your work
mama. How you gonna stand up to having your own child?
Nope.
Your mama tell you can't do this, you say yeah. All right, you're right, mama.
No.
All right, ma. Okay, so then you're not ready to have your
Because
kids.
she must be paying your bills if you still listening to her.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, mothers only really talk because you're
in their pocket.
you in their pocket.
So why, as they would say, motherfucker, I'm still taking care of you. How you gonna bring somebody another mouth to feed?
Yeah.
You can't take care of your
do
damn
that.
self.
No, not up in here.
No. So, and that goes back with growth. Mm-hmm. Growth, you have to understand, where are you?
Yeah.
Look at where you are.
Yeah.
You may be, and the other problem with women is they have a tendency to look at everybody around them. Oh, she's getting married. Or she's having a kid. Or why can't I? I don't want to be lost in the mix, in the sauce. Mm-hmm. Well, your situation is different from her situation. You don't know. She may have got caught and said, oh, you might as well have a baby. Let's go ahead and get married before the baby's here. We know those situations. Gunshot weddings. You're going to get married. You ain't going to have my baby out here looking all trifling.
Nah, you not.
So,
Get the
there's
gun, daddy.
Get the gun.
Get the gun, daddy.
Say I do, motherfucker. Say I do.
I'm there for it, baby. Y'all not going to keep making all these single mothers out.
See?
Y'all going to blame it on social services. Because y'all daddies put away them damn shotguns.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
So now you have to say to yourself, like, okay, I may feel like I need to get married and have a kid, but realistically, I'm not ready. And I need to say, put that on the back burner, get myself ready, and hopefully I can find someone down the road that I can mesh up with, and maybe we can get together on the same wavelength, and we can maybe do that.
Right.
But I can't make my decisions based on what I see in society, what I see on IG, what I see in YouTube, or what my friends are doing. I don't get, because their friends get married and have a kid. That's their responsibility. There ain't no money coming in my pocket to take care of the kid. Mm-hmm. But you can't look at everybody and say, oh, they got to be happy. I need that because that's going to make me happy. How can you be happy when you don't know who the fuck you are?
Yeah.
First, before you start bringing somebody else in and you start growing. Again, stop looking at things you think is going to make you happy and grow within yourself and find out what will make you happy before you start bringing other people to your fuckery. Because that's the other
lot
thing.
of y'all gonna fuck around and have kids, and y'all really not ready for that shit.
It's
like,
a lot.
Y'all can't even do basic things like put yourself aside for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, to be in a relationship, just a very bare minimum of saying, you know what, even though I don't want to do this, my spouse needs this from me, the least I can do is give it to them. Y'all can't even do that basic shit. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens when the kid's sitting here crying who can't give you no indication as why it's crying? Mm-hmm. It could cry because it wants you next to it. It could cry because it bumped its toe on the corner of the bed. It could cry because it shit itself, cry because it pissed itself, cry because it's hungry, cry because it just felt like crying today. You don't know.
Yep, that's true.
But you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out on the fly. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say, oh, my clock dictates that I need to have a kid before pregnancy gets even more complicated. But if you're not mentally ready, you're going to end up just being another piece of trash ass parent, probably the same piece of trash parent that raised you, that you thought I could do better than them. But you can't, because just like them, you never figured yourself out. But you're going to rush and have kids and then take 10 years to figure it the fuck out. Yeah. And meanwhile, that's 10 years of fucking up a child that then is going to eventually have to do the same thing that you didn't do. And ideally, if it does do it right, you'll end the cycle. But it probably won't. We'll probably end up doing something else to eventually have a kid as well that's fucked up. Because they never got over the shit that you did that was wrong. And you were their parent. Because you never got over what your parent did that was wrong.
Generational trauma.
Yeah. That's what it boils down to, I guess.
And that goes back to why we have to do the work to make ourselves better. Mm-hmm. That's why it's not a pill. It's not a shot. You really have to do the work.
Pretty much what he's talking about, and grooming yourself and doing that work, you're truly, as a woman, will become attractive.
Yes.
And you will attract the mate that's for you.
Absolutely.
In the pursuit of you, healing and working and, just kind of blooming and coming into not just yourself, but your aware self, so to speak. Because so many of us are, just into self. Mm-hmm. You're only worrying about yourself. No, let's become a little bit more aware.
Start blooming. Like, it's springtime. Yep. Start blooming like the flowers. Yeah. Start finding yourself. because then guys will really see who you are. Not the bloom is tight,
Yeah.
but the one that has this blossom. You like, that's a and most people wouldn't even want to pick that flower. It's such a beautiful flower, you don't want to pick it. But if it's a bloom, you're like, I take it and put it somewhere. Maybe it'll bloom and be better, and it may bloom and not be nothing, or it may not bloom at all.
Yep.
But at least if you put yourself in a situation where you know you're self-confident, you know where you're going, you're confident where you're heading, then you won't have to worry about just hoping, oh Lord, I hope somebody just come and pick me because my time is running out. I got to hurry and get picked up. Nobody want that. Nobody want desperate men, women or men. Nobody want desperate either or. But for women, it's more important because basically you want to make sure you're making the right decision the first time. You don't want to kind of say, I'm going to wing it and maybe, hopefully, pray upon a star, wish upon Buddha and all them, that this is the choice. You want to make sure, here's how I'm confident, I'm carrying myself that way, and the dude's got to be confident. He going to come to that type of woman half-assed. He know he got to come correct. He ain't going to hit with no bullshit-ass game or what he trying to do. He got to come correct.
And you'll be surprised at how many guys you'll weed out by just being confident in yourself.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's the other thing is that when you're coming into your self-awareness that we, are talking about, those men who they know they can't approach you now.
They know they can't.
Like off the jump. Like they might, you look beautiful today, Ma, and keep on walking. That's because they know they can't even begin to entertain what you got going on.
Nope.
And you go from a situation where you felt desperate to where it's like, oh, no, I really am kind of wanted out here. No, it's a lot of eyes on me. What's happening?
Absolutely.
It's sort of the idea where the men are about to get married and they have their glow up because now they're kind of putting that foundation down and they're very confident in themselves and where they're going, and they're like, why everybody wanting me now? And you're exuding confidence.
Yes.
Like you never exuded it before. You're very
The same
certain.
thing. We notice it as when you date people. Like even with dating as a whole, guys notice that. Like,
when you're dating a good girl, you're in a good, serious relationship, and now
all of a sudden
everybody
now,
wants
it seems like everybody wants you. And it's like,
because now
you have some poise and you have some confidence, and you
Yeah.
actually look like the man because you're carrying yourself different. And it's like when you fall out of a relationship, you're like, well, these people were interested when I was in a relationship are not, because now you're desperate.
And it's I don't want to be this type of person, but I'm gonna just go here. It's not the same. Coming into self-awareness is not the same as dating yourself.
No.
Okay.
No.
Now
No,
I'm all
no.
for stopping past Olive Garden and sitting down at the bar and having myself something to eat because I've been out all day. I don't have to eat to go. I'm okay with eating by myself.
Yeah.
But this whole dating yourself, how long you doing that for? That's not self-awareness, number one. Like, that's not figuring out nothing going on with yourself. That's not a glow up. That's you spending your time on yourself.
Yeah, and you probably spending that time because you at your wit's end. You're like, I've tried everything. Yeah. I don't know what else to do but sit here by myself.
And this is it's a trend going on TikTok, and I'm not against you going out and saying, you know what, a bunch of girls don't want to go, but I don't want to miss this experience. Mm-hmm. True that. But if all of your experiences are you dating yourself, and this is all year long, and this is like for the next 2 or 3 years that you just dating yourself.
Wow.
No. There's a problem with you in regular relationships in general. Like you don't have a coworker to go hang out with because you probably don't want to deal with that person.
Absolutely.
You probably don't want to deal with the men also that you've been interacting. Like that's the reason.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So yeah, we have to stop pretending that this self-dating thing is self-aware. It's not.
But I think self-dating is cool.
It's cool.
I think the thing is that you gotta self-date yourself in new locations.
You gotta do that.
You gotta self-date yourself in new locations. Like you always go to Olive Garden on Thursday. You can't go self-dating yourself at Olive Garden on Thursday and be like, damn, well, me and myself had a great day in the Olive Garden. Well, how about you and yourself take a trip somewhere new? If we go to Buffalo Wild Wings today.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
No,
go put yourself in a different environment and see it. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need to be somewhere else. Maybe they hang around a different group of people.
But are you going out to find new people? Because I'll be going to Olive Garden to find new people.
You should be wanting to go find new people.
But I don't get it. I didn't get it one minute. You at the Buffalo Wild Wings trying to pick up on people by yourself? How do you? This is a bizarre concept to me.
We literally just sitting here talking about people who want to be dating themselves for 3 years. That's already a fucking bizarre concept. I'm trying to say, let me propose a separate, slightly less bizarre concept of how about I go outside and find some new people.
So you saying go out and then do it.
Or go to events, go to a concert, go to something you enjoy, and just go. I cannot tell you how many friends I've made recently by just going to things I enjoy, looking at the person to the right or left of me and saying, "Hello, nice to meet you. Why are you here?"
Okay, do you
Right, but that's being a guy. I understand that's different.
No, that's fine.
But like, as a woman, you can meet other women who might grow, move differently.
I know. Like, if I go out, you can definitely meet the perfect stranger, right? But I'm a social person, and I go out by myself, and I go out with other people also. And I just think it should be a really like healthy balance of that. And if you find yourself to where you're only, in my personal opinion, you're only out by yourself all the time, like what? Like you don't even hang out with your your mom. You don't even want to go pick up your mom. She get on your nerve too? Let me guess.
Oh boy.
Everybody in your life get on your nerve.
So then go find new people.
Like,
You're gonna have to.
or you need to readjust yourself.
But again, what did we
You
start
need to
this whole
check
podcast
yourself.
was? You're so comfortable being where you are, you don't want to take that
Yes.
route to be uncomfortable.
You
Because that
don't
means,
understand.
damn it,
Other-
I got to be more uncomfortable
That's
than I am right now.
Other people don't want to be around you.
I wouldn't either if I see who you are. And I'm like, I want to be around you.
Like
No.
what? And you
No.
don't realize. You think that, oh, no, I don't want to be around other people. No. Other people are avoiding you because your attitude sucks, or because you do too much, or you don't do enough.
Yes, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
But you're so into your own bubble, you don't even see that.
Can't.
Because again, that means that I have to look at me and say, God damn it, I need to get fixed up. I need to do something to change
I
this.
gotta move different.
I gotta do work.
I gotta bite my tongue. God forbid.
But wait, what else is gonna happen to you if
You
you don't
can't
do
say
it?
You can't say whatever you want to say out of your mouth in front of your mother. Ooh. Yeah, no, it's actually okay for you to go out to lunch with your mom, have a good time, and bite your tongue.
Yeah.
And not say whatever you want to say, especially when you know your mother don't roll like that.
And then you'll be surprised if you do that, how things will start to shift. Just that little bit. Just
Yeah.
being uncomfortable and not keeping it real, keeping it 100.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
our favorite. You know,
Yeah.
oh man, black women, don't we love it? We
Keeping
gotta
it
keep
real.
it real.
Gotta keep it 100.
Yeah.
But then you keep it
you
real
gotta keep
100.
it real with your mother.
Why?
Like,
It's
no.
your mama. Here's the thing.
No, have some reservations. It's your now. If you can't bite your tongue for your mother, I don't know how you biting your tongue for your man. Oh, he just got here. You just go off the deep end too.
Which then you ain't gonna have a man soon.
Well, that's probably why you don't have a man. Because you don't know how to, Lord forgive me for that rest of that sentence. No, fuck it. You don't know how to shut the fuck up.
Now y'all just want him to go in. He's doing it all day.
I'm
He
sorry.
on fire.
I don't know what I forgot. I just I was shooting live rounds today. Yeah. My gun is loaded today. My gun is loaded today.
Is that not the reality?
It's the fucking reality. And there's a lot of women out here, a lot of beautiful women. And they're wondering, God damn it, I'm fucking gorgeous. Why nobody want me?
Yeah, because you know that woman talk, that cackling, that loud talking, that unfiltered, that's girlfriend talk. And that's fine.
Yep, it is.
But generally speaking, that man don't want that same energy that you give into your girlfriends or your cousins or your sisters, right?
God, no, he don't. He don't.
I think that we got to a whole idea of keeping it real. And if I'm not the same way in front of you as I'm the same way in front of my mama and being the same way in front of my grandmother, then I'm just not keeping it real. But that's a bizarre concept. Because why would I conduct myself the same way in front of my employer as I would conduct myself in front of my husband?
No.
Can I conduct myself the same way in front of my mama as I would with my sister?
No.
You have to act accordingly. So if the men are calling for change and they're saying, listen, power to the women, girl power, anything you can do, I can do better type of thing. They are here for us. They love
Absolutely.
it.
Yes.
You know, you all big, loud talking, and you can roll your neck and, you know, talk real big. They love to see it. But from
Absolutely.
afar.
Yes.
From
Yes.
afar.
Exactly.
You out back drinking tea with your girlfriends, out cackling, doing the most.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, baby, enjoy yourself. But don't bring that same energy to the head of your household
Please don't.
or your potential head. In
There you
order
go.
to get what we want from life, you start. If you get it, you continue doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get what you want, you have to eventually change.
You have to. You
If
got
you
to.
said, I'm going to change the way I dress, I'm going to switch up my makeup, I'm going to change up my hair, hell, I might even go and change up my weight. Buy me some new sneakers, new nails, new toenails, new fingernails, all that. Eyebrows, went and got me a new nail tech, eyebrows on fleek. I changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I didn't change, my attitude.
Ooh.
Couldn't buy that part.
No.
Couldn't go to Nordstrom's, pick that up. Can't get it out the beauty shop.
No.
So when it's time for change, it's internal.
Yes.
It's got to be
Yes.
internal in order for it to actually be something substantial and to get that change from it.
And that's what's always funny to me, that second part you just said. You have to make the change for yourself first. People end up in a relationship and then, like, let's say something happens where, like, okay, keep having miscommunications. We got to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You say, like, oh, I'm tired of my significant other playing games constantly. Or I'm tired of him going to the bar. I'm tired of him working late, right? And he says, like, oh, and I'm tired of getting cussed out. What you'll say is, oh, once you do this thing, then I'll do my thing. I was like, just do your thing first. Like, if you're tired of, like, you know what? If what he needs from me to be home is to stop nagging, then I want to stop nagging. Why? Because I can control my own actions.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he doesn't do what he says he's going to do, then I know that he's not willing to put in the effort for me.
Yeah.
And vice versa, as a guy.
Yeah, 'cause-
you got to do the same thing. Like,
a
say,
guy
I'm going to make my own adjustment.
Yeah.
And if she's still going to nag me,
Yeah, what you waiting on her for?
then I got to go.
Yeah.
Because I made the adjustment. And I'm saying I'm putting in that good faith effort. When your change is contingent upon someone else changing,
It's bullshit.
it's bullshit. You're not going to want to change anyway.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because they can choose when the hell they ever, whenever they
Like
do stuff.
you doing what you want to do regardless of
Yep.
how I move.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, yes, the way you move has nothing to do with the way I move.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's, kind of like in a nutshell what we've been talking about. It's like change and growth is difficult.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's uncomfortable. It's going to hurt. But in the end, you put the effort into it and you put all that you are into making that change and making that growth, you'd be surprised where you end up at.
Yep.
Because potential is only as good as you can fulfill it. Or you just be a person, damn, they had a potential to be great. But you can saw list a whole lot of things that they didn't do, and they just ended up being, lost potential.
Yep. Because I guarantee my ladies, on the journey to adjust your attitude, your feelings going to get hurt.
Absolutely.
It's just who we are as women and how our feelings hurt and are affected.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if we're not self-checking
Mm-hmm.
and somebody else has to give us that check, it might hurt your feelings a little bit. That doesn't mean that man disrespected you. That doesn't mean he
Nope.
did anything, against you. You
Nope.
know, it means that you missed your own check and he had to deliver it. And
Absolutely.
hopefully y'all will become stronger from it.
Absolutely. And, and for the men, you have to change. The thing is, as I always say, your parents raised you best they could, even as fucked up as they were, they did the best they could.
Right.
Now it's time for you to grow up and say, I want to be the man that I choose to be, not who someone tells me I need to be. You need to be the man you got to be in order to take care of your family, take care of yourself, and take care of your community. But by taking care of you and your family, you'll take care of your community because you become a role model.
Absolutely.
So, make the changes, y'all.
Work on it.
Work
Start.
on the changes, and it's not going to happen overnight. I trust us. We know it ain't going to happen overnight.
Or in the beauty shop or at the mall.
No.
It's just not.
No, and it's not a pill. There's no shot. There's no pie in the sky. None of that shit's going to happen. You got to actually sit down, do the work. Or first of all, figure out where you are, and then do the work. And then continue to do the work. It's going to be hard. Some days you're going to be crying. Some days you're going to be upset. Doesn't matter. Keep taking that step forward, and you'll eventually reach where you're trying to get to. So, with that, we're going to leave you with this episode of On the Mic with M.
Auntie.
Listen, people, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you can see every time we put out a new podcast. And again, work on yourselves every day. And as we always say, be better, do better. With that, peace and blessings.